Spending some time at Mahindra East Rand right now, East Rand Mall branch, as you can see. And it's all about these vehicles here. The pickup, but the special models of the pickup. The Dawn, the Dusk and the Storm. You've seen them on the channel before. But here's the Dusk one, as you can see. All this black treatment, blacked out, really looks quite something. But the reason we're here today is because these vehicles have been on a long journey around the whole of South Africa. And this is the ending point. This is where they're about to finish in the next few minutes. So let's see what happens next. This is what it's really all about. And they'll be here any minute from now. The finish line's ready for them. So the question is, where are they? They're going to come along from this side. Everybody's standing, waiting, everybody's ready. Just got to get them to come along. Seeing something on the other side of the fence. There's something very prominent appearing over there. But they've got to come around the block now. But that was a sneak peek. The convoy's headed this way. And here we go. You can see them approaching. After thousands of kilometers right around South Africa, including Namibia, visiting all the different dealerships. Here come the Dawn, the Dusk and the Storm. And they've kicked up quite a social media storm over these last few weeks, I can tell you that. They're dirty, they're messy, they're mucky, but isn't that what it's about after all this traveling? Isn't that really what they're all about? And I'm sure the drivers must be pretty tired too. But that's really, they're the next two coming in as well. Here they come, under the finish banner, shall we call it, getting the checkered flags. And you can see here they are. The fleet of Mahindra pickups, all powered by that 2.2 litre diesel engine. The Dawn, Dusk and Storm, local models, local developments, upgraded suspension, off-road suspension. Lots of upgrades on all of them. They're amazing. I'll show them to you in the showroom in a few minutes. But the bottom line is the journey, the adventure has ended. The big greetings, and you'll see Rajesh Gupta, MD of Mahindra South Africa, over there greeting the team, the drivers and the crew who've actually done this epic adventure for Mahindra. There we go, you can see the champagne about to be opened, the gate about to close, but there we go, getting ready for the champagne from the team. And let's get the champagne shower going. These guys are tired, they've been on the road a long time.
Let's spray the cars, not us. Welcome home, everybody. A big round of applause for our team.
Yay! Yeah, well done, guys. Yes, Mahindra adventure around the country, around South Africa, and as if the cars weren't dirty enough already, the champagne bath to wash them off a little bit.
Yay!
And there we go. This is what the same vehicles look like when they clean on the showroom floor. But it's exactly the same. The Dawn, the Dusk and the Storm. All three of them here presented on the showroom floor when they haven't done a few thousand kilometers across the country around South Africa and Namibia. Be how you can buy one for yourself. Of Mahindra South Africa. Rajesh, I finally pinned you down long enough to get you on video.
And it took almost, what, 4 years?
Something like that, am I right? But there's so many things going on.
That's right.
Now, we're standing next to the, let me get it right, the Storm. But let's go into a little bit of the story. The Storm, the Dusk and the Dawn were your idea, I'm told.
So, whenever we talk about anything, we talk about a teamwork.
Yeah. But you were
Whatever,
in the middle of the Karoo somewhere, weren't you?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And whatever we are doing behind this brand, Pik-Up, is all completely localized for this country.
Right.
Right? And if you have to relate a little more deeper, in 2018 we repositioned this brand. And we started, putting ourselves as a challenger brand. And that is the time when we did a TV commercial in Karoo.
Right.
And during that shoot, we realized that the journey that we are having in this country is incomplete till the time we put our vehicles in the most toughest of the situation and prove them.
Right.
And that's here the idea of Karoo came in picture. We
Right.
launched our first Karoo in 2018. We kept on building on that, and then we realized that if it is all about toughness, reliability, and capability.
Right.
And hence, the birth of Dawn, Dusk, and Karoo happened. And they are basically nothing other than a poetry in Karoo. The dusk of Karoo, the dawn of Karoo, and the storm of Karoo.
Right.
The one who knows Karoo knows what they are.
Okay, now I must tell you two things quickly. I was at that event where you revealed the new brand, the Twin Peaks, and you showed these vehicles. And then you guys have sponsored for the SA Guild of Mobility Journalists, sponsored some training, and I had experience in them on some off-roading. But you're in trouble in India, do you know that?
Why?
And I'm being serious. Because the video I did of the reveal and at the training has been quite popular in India. And they're asking why aren't they getting these vehicles, these versions in India right now? And they're actually pretty upset with it.
I know, and for that, the people in South Africa, I can complain that we are yet to have vehicles like XUV 700 and Scorpio and so many other. So no, yeah, but this vehicle is a marvel which has been created here in South Africa for the people of South Africa.
But I think we need to export the idea back to India. What do you think?
If they are willing, we are more than happy to do that.
Great. Now let's talk why we're here today. You did this expedition. Where did the idea come from? I mean, we've seen lots. This video is going to have lots of bits on the expedition. But who came up with the idea, the adventure?
Again, I will not like to pinpoint anybody in the team. There is a team which is working behind it, and I am very proud of the team who has got this idea on the table. And then when you have a very strong, proposition to speak around, you automatically see a larger set of people coming and joining you the force.
Right.
And then we have, eligible partners like, Specialized Adventures joining on the board and so on and so forth. But if I have to put it across, the core sentiment was that if we are calling and qualifying ourselves as an authentic Bakhi, we wanted to get into a domain which is what people of South Africa really appreciate about, which is toughness, reliability, and capability. And more so, if you really wanted to talk about the experience that somebody actually enjoys out of the vehicle, which is about the core desire of unleashing the explorer in themselves.
Which is you moving into new territory almost.
Absolutely.
With that, aren't you? You started off with the single cab buckies, which you've got a massive market share. What, 25% market
22% market share.
Okay, which is big, right? And I think you've surprised a lot of people with that. Then you moved slowly to the double cabs, and now you're moving to the lifestyle double cabs with these models here in particular. So you're slowly but surely expanding the range and bringing it across, and then you're unleashing the Explorer. It's brilliant. I like the idea. I like the concept. I said just now, you're talking about doing more of these expeditions. You're talking about dealers and customers. Where are the journos?
Actually, it will start with journo, and journos will remain part of our journey all throughout.
Okay, well,
We can't think of a journey without journos.
right.
So the journo itself has a journey into it. Reason I'll tell you. There is a mythological story in India known as Mahabharata, which is an epic war between good and bad.
Right.
And that war was happening. There was a journo sitting in that war known as Sanjay, who used to tell the entire story to the world. This is again a situation where we wanted partnership with journos to help
Absolutely.
our story being translated to the rest of the people in the world and South Africa.
Great.
We are very seriously and truthfully talking about something which our vehicle offers, and we definitely feel that there is a strong segment that we are talking about. There are many people who are looking for authentic, tough, reliable buckies
Well,
who can actually help them unleash the Explorer.
and the proof of the pudding has to be the fact that not one of the vehicles got stuck, broke down, or had any technical issue whatsoever in 8,000 kilometers of traveling over, what,
In
3
the most
weeks?
toughest of the roads.
Through the toughest conditions, dirt, sand, whatever, deserts, and yet they all performed perfectly to what you wanted. And
Absolutely.
that is the test, isn't it? You can put a vehicle through whatever you want. It's got to come through and get through on the other side. We saw them arriving just now. They're filthy, they're full of dust and dirt and whatever. But that's part of it as well, isn't it?
That's
I mean,
absolutely.
You get lots of 4x4 buyers who buy the spray on mud.
So in
because
a
they want
way,
it to look that way.
there is no point having a 4x4 which does not have a dust.
That's it.
Then it's ideally there in your garage. If you're a true off-roader,
Yeah.
your vehicle will be looking dirty for sure, because that was the the intent.
Well, all I can say is I had a chat earlier. I'm going to get one of these on test very soon.
Sure.
And I'm taking it. Do you know that I've got my own off-road venue that I use for testing? It's going through there. I can tell you that right now. It's going to live the farm life for a couple of days while I've got it on test.
Absolutely wonderful. We'll love to hear your reviews.
You know you're going to see it.
Thank you.
Rajesh, thanks so much.
Welcome.
Congratulations. Oh, also, congratulations on your sales over the last few months, well over 1,000 vehicles a month.
Thank you.
Just by the way.
Thank you
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And for Motor Matters, I'm Eleanor. See you next time.
So, this session that we will be having with you all, and this is my third session, and I think yours is fourth session, I think fourth session, where we got an opportunity to sit across with our customers, our partners, media partners, in between when we took the pit stops. And each of these places where we have went, the narrative that we've been speaking about is one simple thing, that it is all about the story that we will be telling. So, the event that we are going to have, and as we all will relate to it today, you will see our truthfulness getting reflected in every single moment that has gone into it. And what I am requesting you all, that while I will speak something more, but try and evaluate everything that we are speaking to you with a measurement of the truthfulness into it. This brand, which started in this country in 2004, we are 18th year, completing 18th year just next month, on 2nd October, we will be celebrating our 18th year completion, we are getting into 19th year. The only thing that this brand has lived thoroughly is the truthfulness that we have demonstrated on the ground. We never attempted something which is not true to us. And in the process, when we got into a stage where we were taking up a deep stride, somewhere around 2015, 16, 17, and when we started making big commitment to this country, when we started thinking of putting up an assembly line in Durban, and becoming more South African for that nature. That's where we defined ourselves completely as a challenger brand. And that is how the quote and tagline came in picture. Always up for a challenge. That's what we were and we are still. That we wanted to make our mark by taking up the challenges, and we would like to partner anybody who has got grit and determination to prove himself or herself in this world. That's how this brand started building the roots. I'm very proud to share that we could do it with the help of all our channel partners, and I am today standing at East Rhine, who is our biggest dealer in South Africa. In fact, in Southern Hemisphere. Probably because you were having that applause, you missed the last line. They're not biggest dealer in South Africa, they're biggest dealer in Southern Hemisphere. Yeah. We have lived a partnership here, and that's where this expedition, the first expedition, because there are many to come along with our partners who are in khakis here. We could demonstrate a growth of a CAGR where we outsmarted industry in last 5 years by 25%. Industry had a degrowth of over 9%. And Mahindra South Africa and our team members could demonstrate a growth of 17-16%. So we outsmarted industry almost by 25% in last 5 years, year on year. In pickups, in buggies, since last 5 years, if you just see, we are the fastest growing buggy brand. We are number 5 player in buggies, number 3 player in single cab. We are having almost 23% market share in single cab. Overall in Bucky's, we have recently started doing double-digit market share, we are around 11%. All that I am speaking, I'm not trying to do a bit of self-appreciation, that's not the point. The point is that this brand genuinely, honestly, got a love and affection of our customer. Customers have trusted on us for the toughness, reliability and the capability that we have brought on the chip. And over and above, there is an authenticity behind the brand that whatever we spoke, we delivered. And whatever single penny or rand that customer was putting onto us, we value that money. And that is what, according to us, is authentic Bucky all about. And that's where, on 27 June, this brand has moved into the next phase globally, including South Africa. We have rolled out our new brand logo and the philosophy, which is really Peak. Many of you are aware of that. And while we ventured into that piece and the new product solutions that we're offering, we took up a serious ownership of nurturing our product range. On the Bucky side as authentic Bucky and on the SUV side as authentic SUVs. And the authentic Bucky as we speak, because authentic SUV is something that we will be speaking to you all in the month of October or November, where we all will be getting engaged on SUVs available to launch. But at this point in time, since we're talking about authentic Bucky, we decided that the moment of truth behind this word authentic, tough, reliable, and more capable should be delivered in such a way that there is nothing left for imagination post that. So this expedition is all about a truthful reflection of the brand and its capability. For all its customers who has a core desire to explore or unleash the explorer in themselves, who wants to venture out, who wants to go on to new journeys, who want to pursue things which actually gives them the ultimate pleasure. And that was the truthful disposition behind every single frame, which you will see now. But more than that, we decided that when we are doing it, we will not do it. We will have people who are hardcore into this piece of expedition, so-called, where they put vehicles in the toughest of the situation, where its vehicle performance itself speaks about its merit. And that's where we got a team on the other side. All these young and bright gentlemen, I can use word young, right? And Hardy being Hardy, he has got a name which he is delivering in his style. He has a team of himself, Shankar, Yaku, Teacher, and the man who is a magician, Willie, which is, we always take him hiding. Where is Willie? I can't see him. He's the one who is showing everything to the world. He's the person behind the camera. These are the people behind the wheels. They will be telling you the story of a truthful brand, a case study in this market, in this country, a brand which has started journey as a humble brand, and the brand today, with all the pride, speaking about authenticity in this country around Bucky's. A big statement to deliver, but we are very confident that we have lived up to it. More about it, you will see in this story which Hardy and team will be sharing with you. I will keep coming in between. But yes, I'll come for summing up the last. So over to you, Hardy. Let us go through this storytelling session where you will bring the essence and the pain and the pride of everything. Over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Chantal Berger. I'm part of the Specialized Adventures team, and I've been doing this type of work with Hardy for the past 7-8 years.
So expeditions in this particular is just very much in your line of work. What I've been wanting to ask you, Chantal, is how much different was this particular one for you personally? As you all answered, but how much different was this one for you personally?
Well, I would say that it's Definitely one of the toughest that I've done. We usually have bigger groups, but this was a small group which is very intense. You have to get the job done, and nobody goes to bed in the evening before we haven't debriefed. So it was tough, it was long, but I have an exceptional team standing next to me, which made it very easy.
And the vehicles you were driving, that must have made it a whole lot easier. At least you could have something besides one another, relying on one another, but the vehicles reliability as well. Just share with us how your sense of, what would you call it, confidence began to grow as you were getting to learn about the vehicle.
Well, I personally think that I had the best car. I was driving the Storm, the pretty grey one. From the moment we got into the vehicles, we were able to start testing them. And I think it was at day 3 when I said to Heidi, I know when I get into the car and I turn that key, it won't drop me, it won't let me down. And we've really put it through its paces. We've tested it on every possible terrain. And I never once had to doubt that the vehicle is going to just perform. So that it's going to actually be sad to leave the car and get into something else after this.
Oh, my word, okay. Right.
Morning, Lawrence from Ride and Drive. Just wanted to ask you, obviously expeditions are great, but with fuel prices today, obviously fuel consumption is top of mind when you're doing these things. So you said to Uppington on the tar road, 900 k's. What kind of fuel consumption are you guys getting in these vehicles?
Good morning. I was driving the Dawn, so I had the roof rack on the top. My fuel consumption was half a kilometer per liter less or worse than the rest of the team. I think I spoke, Jaco this morning said he's between 10 and 11. At one point we were well over 11 kilometers a liter. That includes long distance, the open roads, open gravel highways. That includes the Namakwa Eco Trail, the Kommershoofland, the Richtersveld, Helskloof, Sani Pass, and everything else. That's a combination of it. Mine is half a kilometer worse, half a kilometer per liter worse than the rest of them because of the roof rack that I carry. The vehicles are exceptionally fuel efficient as a combination. And that was one of the discussion points. Before we started here, we talked about the vehicle. Before we started in South Africa, that night before we left, we talked about the vehicle and the competitive edge Mahindra has on its competitors. And one of the things that stood out was fuel efficiency. If I compare it to the fleet, to the vehicles that I currently have in my fleet, you will spend half the money on fuel. Half the money on an expedition like this, you will spend on fuel. But what stood out and what gradually came through on this expedition is that fuel efficiency is not the only competitive advantage. Remember, this is what we thought in the beginning. And as we went along, and as we got to learn how the suspension works, how the gearbox works, the comfort levels, the space levels, the magnificent Eaton locker that they have in the back. This vehicle has got an edge on many of the competitors in the market, not just fuel efficiency. There's a lot to be said. There's a bigger story to tell than just fuel efficiency. And the sales people, the sales team, one of your sales team should take notice. There's a lot to be said about the other features on this vehicle. It is damn good, really it is. So, taking up Chantal's time with it. The Mahindra team Mahindra is central Namibia, the worst of the coastline, the worst of the dunes, the worst of the Richtersveld. Namakoland. The worst of the Karoo, the worst of the east of that part of the Eastern Cape that we skirted, the worst of the Free State, the worst of KwaZulu-Natal, and then obviously our way back home. Not once did the gearbox slip, and it happens with vehicles. Not once did the gearbox slip, not once did the locker fail us, not once.
I have one last question before we cross to, we're going to cross to a video break. We'll come back to the Q&A. Hardy, I've got one question to ask you. You don't have to answer it now when we come back. So, having a fleet of Japanese 4x4s, which you trained and done expeditions in, as I said, don't answer it now. Would you consider having these? So can we leave you that answer afterwards?
No, I can answer it now.
Okay.
I can prove it to you. 2 weeks before we started this expedition, I sold one of my fleet vehicles because the mileage was getting very close to 200,000 and ordered a new one. When we were in Kois Unveiled, the dealer in Beaufort sent me a text message to say that your bucky is here. I've since cancelled that order, and Mr. Gupta agreed to sell me the bucky that I was driving. I'm going to use that word for